but he always finds you.
Coming from experience. He's just pushing you into trees.
Sounds pretty painful.
It's pretty terrible. But yeah, so I mean, that's what you get though. That's what you get when you try to go for a all-in early game. We're gonna dominate against a team like Alliance who knows how to deal, dude.
I wouldn't say it was like 100% all-in early game, but they needed momentum, right? Like Legion Commander as a hero just needs momentum. He needs early game lead with like maybe a bit of dual damage, some early items to be ahead, and they couldn't get off.
They couldn't get off. What can you do? We all been there.
It happens.
It happens to the best of us.
It happens. Okay, so this was, I felt like it wasn't really a drafting issue. It felt more like they had a lineup and they didn't really know how to play that specific lineup issue.
Well, we know that they know how to do it. It's
but
just
but we just said they went for Vanguard and Axe. They shouldn't have. That's just more like not understanding what you should do.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to defend yourself. You don't need a shield.
You want to kill people.
You need a dagger.
Yeah, you need to do akimbo swords on Axe.
And if you do
want
to do the long game and farming game and go for the passive build, you get different heroes.
Maybe just a little change of roles kind of was like Ace usually playing the core, not really the initiator. So maybe just that draft didn't suit them 100%. Maybe, as we said during the draft, they were reacting too much.
Right.
Rather than picking this kind of like hairstyle kind of play.
Well, now they're pissed. I mean, now I feel like they're gonna they're gonna be definitely angry. Right? Sometimes it's like MP. You know, you got to lose the first game and then you guys go into rage mode.
It's for the story.
It's for the story, you know?
Yeah.
Super Saiyan, you can't do it unless you get beat.
Radiant team's turn to pick.
I'm not even gonna help
Thank you, Shane. Thank you.
I'm not even, like, honestly, these anime references.
Yo-hi-yo.
Oh, definitely wasn't a resident sleeper, so I lost.
Oh, dang. Sorry, Chiefs. All right, so.
It's okay.
IO banned out. Both these teams kind of love their IO. If you let Alliance get IO, the game's pretty much over. Imperial loves it very much, so we're not going to be seeing that. No Sand King, no Drow, no Mirana, and not too much to talk about. Those are pretty common heroes.
Yeah.
And the IO one is obviously... I think Imperial probably would have liked it themselves, but they know Alliance can pick it up. You know, it's a really core hero for EGM. He doesn't play much, El Jerry. Like, I remember at TI, we were talking about it in the group stages, I believe, and we were saying Alliance as a team they're usually all very versatile, except for Jerry. He has like 4 heroes.
Well, that's okay, because he's the best in the world at those 4 heroes.
Yeah, it's good, but it's also a weakness, right?
Is it? Is it a weakness?
Well, theoretically speaking, the only time the weakness would be there is if 4 of his heroes were banned.
See, and is that a weakness to have one player on your team that forces bans? No, I in fact think that's why EG won TI5.
And Alliance won the TI before.
Yeah, okay.
EG won TI5 because they had to ban Aui's heroes. They had to ban Aui's heroes every single time, and then that let the team do whatever they want. So when you're playing against Alliance, you got EGM on there, you have to ban certain heroes, and then you got no room to work with those NA Swedish Cowboys.
NA Swedish Cowboys.
That's correct. Look at Gyro, he's flying, guys.
Ooh.
Whoa, jeez. Whoa.
It's similar to the technology we had at TI.
Whoa. Yeah, this is the DreamLeague TI. Here he comes, look out. Whoa, he's coming.
It's so real.
Here I come, everyone. One guy told me once that he hates Gyrocopter just because of my dumb voice that I always do.
You sung a whole song in that voice.
I did.
5 seconds remaining.
It only took 3 takes. No,
it only took 3 takes?
We sang the entire song and it was beautiful. Yes.
Who's we?
Me and the poor Twitch viewers. Ohio. So, we got standardized drafts here. We saw the Bat Rider do some major work yesterday, so they don't want Alliance to have that either. And they're going to go ahead and snag themselves an Outworld Devourer.
I like the Imperial start right now. I think Bat Rider is a very strong laner. He can be very aggressive early game. So is Ogre. This giant guy runs at you, beats you with a club.
Scary.
He also, the Bloodlust is very good on Bat Rider, you know.
Movement speed.
Movement speed, of course, yeah, because he wants to close distance on his opponent.
Right,
I
always think attack speed when I think of Bloodlust, sorry.
I get it. Well, attack speed's good early game on Bat Rider too.
Sure, that's great too. So then that's a good combo.
And the Astral Prism is pretty good against Bat Rider. You know, you can defensively save them. They have the Shadow Demon Disruption as well. A lot of save on Alliance.
Yeah.
It's good.
You know how we spoke yesterday about if MP did their homework or not.
Yeah.
Alliance definitely did their homework.
The Centaur,
the Centaur ban, the Sniper ban,
the Sand King.
Sand King ban. But Sand King, I mean, Sand King is banned for everybody lately.
I think we nominated Hestejo like one of the MVP votes
based on his
Sand King. So yeah, they definitely watched the game.
Yeah, they did their research, Sheaver. They care again.
They care.
It ain't old lazy
wait, again? Huh? Was there a period where they didn't care? You're on the Swedish show, dude.
No. Great team as always. They were always amazing.
Dyslexia for pure.
Love them. No, I'm just saying that sometimes Alliance would just do their drafts and then they don't care about whatever the other guys are picking. We're really good at these heroes. Let's just do it and see if it works.
That was definitely the old Alliance.
That's the old Alliance. This is new Alliance. Unpredictable, does their homework. They're invigorated. Loda's out there with the whip. He's cracking it. Watch these replays,
Shane, this is your time.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm not gonna do that.
Do what?
Uncle Knox?
Uncle Knox.
See, this is why you're not gonna win, because you can't flawlessly integrate
I wanted your one. I actually liked that emote, and then he just stole it because he's like, I love anime.
Wait, hold on, which emote?
The Ohio.
Ohio? That is a great emote. You're right.
Oh my god.
Hey, that's Lion. Good old Lion.
It is a Lion. I kind of felt like they were lacking some Disable previous game, but
where are you?
On both sides, they were kind of lacking Disable, so I figured...
Yes, I believe Shane said that count how many stuns are on that team. They have Gyrocopter.
Yeah.
That is the missile.
And then they had the Chronosphere, but that was it.
Yeah, that was it. And for the Imperial as well.
That doesn't really matter in the way that Alliance played, though, because Imperial were so underfarmed that they were always just running away.
Right.
And they had glimpse to bring everyone back, and so it worked out. But in this draft, they definitely have a lot of lockdown on both sides, to be honest. Especially Imperial, like Lion, Ogre, Bat. Strong. Okay. And Kunkka.
All right, Lions, come on, guys.
Okay, did we not have Kunkka like not banned or picked previous game?
Oh yeah, he took some pretty heavy hits.
Yeah, but yesterday he still was picked. I think in all the games, picked or banned.
We saw how Alliance countered it. Remember when they were playing the other day?
What'd they do, Shane?
They went offensive and stopped the rotations of Kunkka.
They forced the bottom.
Yeah, and in this game, they have an Ogre. They haven't really, they could do some sort of Ogre dual lane with the Batrider. That could put enough pressure on your lane. It could work.
Could work.
It could just work.
I'd like it.
Could work.
Both teams actually are known for liking aggressive tri-lanes, at least in the ACSRG DreamLeague so far. So, in terms of aggressive tri-lane potential with the draft they have right now, what do you think?
Imperials looks pretty strong. Like, Lion isn't the best. He usually needs levels, but you could do like a dual lane with Bat, and it'd actually be pretty good. Like, you don't need to do a full offensive lane.
Oh.
Maybe they are.
Is that a deny pick as well?
Could be. The Shadow Demon?
Yeah, Shadow Demon. Yeah. It's definitely a thing.
Oh no! How is Imperial going to win this game?
You don't want to really do the offensive tri-lane anymore because Lifestealer's just going to gobble you up.
Oh no!
And then what about the offensive dual lane? And does the Alliance want to do an aggressive tri-lane?
Oh jeez, there's so many numbers being thrown around.
I don't think you want to do. Well, you can, but I don't think it's that good. You want Kunkka to be able to roam. You want him to be able to put pressure on and win OD your mid lane.
Okay. So, no.
I don't get it.
Aggressive tri-lane.
I don't get the draft.
What don't you get?
I mean, Lion and Luna are so underwhelming, you know?
I think the strength of Luna, you just get the aura, you go into an offensive lane, and you can do so much right-click damage and put pressure on, right?
Right.
You can also, your timings are a bit quicker. You only really, you don't need too many farming items because of the glaives. You can get Roshan, you can push together as your team. Like, it's kind of like a 5-man group up and push, which Imperial like to play.
Yeah, but they need the illusions, they need the Shadow Demon, dude. And I just don't understand it from a lore perspective, too.
I mean, what don't you understand about the lore?
Lion went to hell and he came back. In this game, you can play demons. You can play the guy who owns hell. You can play literal demons. This is just a dude who went there. And would you choose him?
He got out though, right? All of these demons could not stop him leaving hell.
Visage, they both left the afterlife. He's just some fucking guy. He's just. Would you pick him if you had 5 dudes to save the universe? Would you pick some dude who went to hell and came back? No.
He said, no, he's a fun guy of the bunch. He went on a fun
He's the fun guy of the bunch.
Keeps the morale high. He went on a holiday and then he came back. He's just a traveler.
What does Ogre do then? Like, if Lion's the fun guy, what the hell is Ogre? That was his only thing.
He's the traveler. If you're gonna go on a journey to, like, you know, throw a ring in a pit or whatever.
Lion, dude.
At least Lion has traveled in his
weird ass hand all the time.
He knows the way. He's had travel experience.
You're trying to eat food and Lion took a bite.
Take it, Seaver. He has travel experience, okay?
You can have my sandwich if you want.
Don't diss Lion. He's a very nice tour guide.
He's a nice man. What about Luna, too? She's the second fiddle. You got Mirana, the priestess of the moon.
She's riding a panther. That's
She's
cool.
The bodyguard of the priestess of the moon.
I might actually knock her off her panther and continue riding to the place where you throw the ring in the fire.
What's
are you talking about? Are you making up your own lore? That's where you go.
Knock her off the panther, boys. Isn't that why Lion is going to take us somewhere?
Okay. I don't know what's going on.
We've lost Sheaver. We got... Right. Okay. So, Legion Commander picked up yet again. This time on the Alliance, though. Why is that? I guess that's a lot of lockdown that they kind of needed.
Jonathan fan loves Legion Commander.
Yeah.
It also forces you to not do the dual lane because you want to, like, Lions isn't very good at zoning Legion Commander early game, so you want to force the supports to go up there and, like, try their best to control this Legion Commander so your safe lane is, like, free.
Oh.
Or if you want to do the solo safe lane Legion Commander and do the offensive tri lane, which could work really well with their team.
It could.
Yeah.
Now
they have options, you know what I mean?
At this point in a pub, I'd be super scared. You got Legion and you got Lifestealer. Right now, you'd be going, please no jungle, right? Are they going to run anyone in the jungle here?
No.
Thank God.
They're going to roam the Kunkka.
If they want, they could just do a jungle Legion Commander.
Yeah, but then they leave the offlane empty.
This is when you try to abandon.
No,
right now.
Silencer core!
Oh! Woo. That's why they call him the wild card, baby.
Now, we're going to predict who's going to win, but I want to hear who really quickly...
They could jungle Legion Commander and send the Kunkka into the offlane.
I want to hear really quickly how Silencer does against OD in the mid lane.
Silencer OD, go!
I haven't seen that matchup in a while. It's probably still OD wins.
Okay. Now pick your team.
Alliance, let's go.
I said Alliance would win them all today, so I'm going to go with Alliance.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to go with Alliance too. They seem like they know what they're doing, and I'm not sure Imperial does. We're going to hear from our commentators now. It is time for OD Pixel and Gods for Imperial versus Alliance. Wow.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the SSRG DreamLeague. I'm OD Pixel, I'm here with Gods, and we're ready to go into Game 2 between Alliance and Imperial. Very different drafts again. What are you thinking this time round? I mean, Imperial obviously had a bit of a tough time in Game 1. They're coming into this one, bringing out the Luna, as the panel mentioned, maybe looking to take it away from Alliance, and finishing off their draft with the Silencer, the Baby Knight Silencer, one of their kind of staple, kind of signature picks that we've seen from them in the past.
I look at Imperial's draft and I just think, like, there's so many different synergies I really like. The way they play some of these heroes, they have Hestejo is like one of the best Bat Rider players out there. The Bat with Silencer works really well together because you've got that instant global silence when Bat initiates in, which kind of guarantees a pick-off. And speaking of that guaranteed pick-off, the Lion Finger, you've got some good burst damage. I think they match up very well against the Lifestealer core. The OD is perhaps the scarier one.
The mid-lane matchups, just about that. I mean, how is this Silencer going to do against Limp? So
yeah, it's actually I played the 1v1 matchup just a couple days ago, and Silencer does just fine against OD. It's going to come down to kind of how the Ogre and Kunkka influence it, because I mean, Ogre, one of those very annoying heroes. He's on the Silencer side. Kunkka, same thing. You've got Torrent to follow up the Banish. Just throwing Torrents in general at a Silencer. Silencer's a lot squishier and doesn't have defensive tools, whereas OD does, and that's where Silencer needs the help more than the OD does as far as that mid matchup goes.
And in terms of the side lanes, I mean, obviously in Game 1 we saw Alliance run theirs aggressively. I guess this time around we're less likely to see that. Do you think we're going to see kind of the more traditional matchup, or is there a certain team looking for a certain matchup?
Let's see. So Bat in the offlane, most likely going to be kind of standard. I think you want the Luna, I guess Luna's more the aggro tri-lane lane, but with Ogre wanting to help the mid lane, I think Imperial want to have their because of the help needed for the silencer, they don't want to be committing to an aggro lane, because that's where if you aggro tri lane, your supports can't really roam. Ogre's stuck to that tri lane, then he can't help mid, and that's where I don't see Imperial doing any kind of funky lanes. Alliance, similar thing. The Kunkka wants to help mid. Because you've got one support dedicated to mid, it's a lot harder to run aggressive lanes.
30 seconds.
And we'll see if anything kicks off before the bell, because obviously yesterday, as we saw, Imperial very much the team that does look for early skirmishes, and I think, you know, Alliance, they've done their homework. I mean, Imperial aren't going to go for that kind of play, but you can see the Alliance prepared in their own jungle just in case Imperial were to look for that early kind of fight that we've seen them do in the past. But Imperial instead just looking to secure themselves top rune, and Alliance in return looking to grab themselves bottom. Doesn't look like we're going to see any fights here before the bell.
Nope, not at all. Lotus saved up some money, so curious to see what he goes for here with his 400 gold, possibly just some fast boots, recognizing he may need this to help zone the Batrider from this lane. The boots just giving him that extra bit of zoning potential so that he can help out EGM if he gets a catch onto the Batrider playing too aggressive. Alternatively, you go for like an Orb of Venom or a Blightstone. There's lots of kind of little cheap, cost-effective items you can buy from the side shop as a life stealer. But I imagine the boots is his choice, since he said he didn't spend his 390. But yeah, it'll be boots. Get the fast phase boots is always just great because of the damage you get from that.
And so there's mid lane. Yes. As you said, you know, there's ways that Baby Knight can keep ahead on the silence. I mean, having the Ogre hanging around as well, this is going to be quite a nuisance for Limp on the OD. Absolutely.
Kunkka's going to probably have to rotate there immediately. We see Hanskin already making his moves through the Radiant jungle to get to mid as soon as possible. And he kind of recognizes that Limp is going to need at least a little bit of protection here.
Down bottom, Esther Joe being gone. I mean, this is exactly what you said, you know, getting the boots early on loader allows them to play this aggressive and try and keep the bat from having the kind of start that he wants, getting those early levels, getting the Firefly up and such to be able to play around this lifestealer lane. But in the mid lane, indeed, Hanskin there to back up Limp, and we'll see if that's going to be enough to allow Limp to get the CS, because at the moment, this is 1-for-1 against the 4-for-2. Baby Knight certainly getting the farm that he'd like to have in these early few minutes. And, you know, very much a key player for Imperial. You know, we saw last game Baby Knight wasn't really able to get the start on SF that he needed. He did still manage to pick up the farm and get to the point where it was relatively scary, hit some good ults. But you just imagine if Baby Knight does have a free lane at the start, then he's able to do some magic in these games. Very much a standout player for Imperial.
Interesting to see him go for the level 1 last word, just using that kind of as some harass. There's 150 damage at level 1. It is pretty high damage, but it's also very mana intensive, so normally you'd expect to see either the Glaives or even the Arcane Curse, because the Arcane Curse slows. But bottom lane is where they'll find the first blood. The boots
really
from EGM paying off, and they punish some over-aggression from Batrider.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how long Hester Joe wants to kind of put up with this and stick in the lane, or if we are going to see him go to jungle. He's going to come back down here.
Yeah, you die once, you definitely want to come back down, because that's where some of the spells are on cooldown. Shadow Demon's going to be out of mana. EGM actually wants to suicide here. Unfortunately, there's no camp for him.
Oh, he found a regen rune. That's even better.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Doesn't need a suicide.
On mid lane, again, Limp being forced out to the side. Hanskin's presence is certainly helping caught up, and in fact, with EGM turning up, they can look to try and get a kill. Noya, very tanky, of course, and in fact, just turns around with the spell of the Limp. Limp's going to pop. Yeah, Baby Knight should get this. One more touch will do it. The Fairy Fire, not enough to save him. And they'll get themselves a kill. Noya was dragged back by the X-Bug, has a fair bit of Shadow Poison on him. He has a Fairy Fire and a Tango to get going, but with the Torrent connecting, that should be enough. He'll get out one more Fire Blast, and in fact, he's going to live. He's going to live this one. Ogre's out.
+2s? No.
And Baby Knight just forces them away. One more touch on DGM would have done it, but Limp turning back into the lane is going to mean he can't find the kill. But Imperial dealing with the mid lane aggression from Alliance very nicely, keeping both Baby Knight and Noya alive and getting that kill.
Yeah, it's fantastic from start for the mid lane. Baby Knight getting his first kill. CS-wise, he's not doing amazing by any means, but at least doing decent as far as getting the kill. And it's just been that constant fighting and hits being exchanged around this mid lane, where silencer getting slightly lower than free farm is like a good trade-off to make sure the OD is being shut down. OD a little bit more farm dependent than the silencer is.
I'm top Jonasen fan.
Wow, he's having a great time in this offlane. Almost level 4 already. He's really actually bullying the supports. But this is the problem with committing to that dual lane with the Ogre.
I mean, he's bullying the supports, but he's not managing to slow down Ace's farm.
No.
Ace 22 for 15, having a much better time than Loader down on the bottom. Even though Loader got the kill, not quite as much CS. A lot of denies going on. So.
And similar to Legion, Bat's also level 4, so the offlaners are getting about the same. Yeah, Bat died once, but it was kind of like a death where he knew the creep wave was going to be pushing to his tower, and as soon as he died, he TPs back to the lane and gets like another level and a half. So it was kind of one of those quote-unquote acceptable offlane deaths, because you actually, it's like a trade where you get farm and XP for dying, which in some situations is worth it in the offlane.
On mid lane, again, just throwing out the Astral Tyrant. Nothing to follow through again. Neuer just makes himself present, and that is enough to stop Alliance from going in too ham on Baby Knight. I mean, this Ogre pick certainly seems to just be one that could cause a lot of issues for an OD mid, and as we're seeing, just making it a lot easier for Silence to have the space. Meanwhile, top lane though, Rise gets the catch out onto Jonas and Fanny, tries to turn around and get himself out of this, but one more touch from Ace will bring him down. And Luna going from strength to strength now. Both safe laners from each side getting themselves involved in early kills.
Yeah, both very farm. Looking at lifesteal, it doesn't have any great infest targets to make moves when he hits kind of level 6, 7, 8. Ideally, you're looking, I guess, OD later on with a 4-staff or something, but even that in itself isn't great. Legion Blink, absolutely. But you're not going to be seeing Jonas have a blink anytime soon, so he's going to have to just make rotations using his phase boost movement speed, and perhaps probably has to wait till like level 8 so he has at least 3 or 4, like 3, maybe 4 points in open wounds for the extra cast range. But he's not in any rush to make rotations. Like the lanes are going okay enough for Alliance right now. They can, they don't want to rush things by any means.
Still mid lane, catching back up again, using the torrent here.
Just constant harass, being annoying. Has the OD with the aura there, so he's getting, I believe, a lot of just procs from that to allow him to sustain the X torrent combo.
Well, indeed, interesting. Enough, yeah, he's only used 3 of his skill points at the moment. Baby Knight.
Silencer. Okay. Waiting to see if a kill opportunity comes up with the Arcane Curse or Last Word.
Yeah, seeing what kind of situation arises.
Yeah. The Last Word doesn't, like, damage-wise doesn't scale all that well. Like, the silence duration goes up, which is the main reason to level it up. But the Arcane Curse is like your long-range, reliable damage, and the move slow as well component is always good. So if you can combine that with the Ignite, something you're looking at potential kills, and there we go.
I'm making a go onto Limp.
Suddenly chucks 3 points in the Glaives of Wisdom, thinking he could maybe go aggressive there, but didn't find too much. And this is the right-click build. With the Bloodlust, he can do some good right-click damage. And all 3 of Silence's skills are worth leveling up, for sure. It's always kind of the big question mark, which one do you want to go for?
At the moment, Loader's actually been able to get himself a little bit ahead of Ace's farm. 44 on Loader. 34 CS on Ace. So Loader,
I believe he had a bit of a neutral stack there, like a triple stack at the side camp. It's like give him a nice little boost.
And Jonas and Fan could be in a lot of trouble here. We see this rotation coming out from Imperial. Rise to kick the action off. They'll chain stun this man up. TPs are coming in. It's not going to be in time though. Jonas and Fan down. The question is, can Alliance find something in return? Now looks a bit onto Neuer, but the global silence is there, and indeed Ace turns around with the Eclipse, but there's 4 members of Alliance here. They're ready to fight. Imperial, they're outnumbered at the moment. The Torrent onto Ace. They've already popped most of their spells. And Alliance will look to chase down and get themselves some kills. Can they actually catch out Ace, though? That's the question. The ping's coming through. 3 levels of Shadow Poison. And Astral again to allow them to surround him. It looks like Imperial have to let Ace go, as they will lose the Luna. So Alliance reacting nicely to that one and able to get the kill onto Imperial's hard carry.
Alliance bringing all 5, and they actually needed all 5 there. If it was just like Loader with Limp there, that could have gone badly for them. Nicely played by Limp to help taint the Eclipse. They split the blast 50-50. Of course, RNG favoring them a bit as well, but even if like perhaps another 1 or even 2 blasts had hit Loader, Loader was still going to survive through it all. He's got over 1,000 HP when he's full, so it was a nice rotation from Alliance, and Imperial just thinking they could get that extra kill with the Global Silence Eclipse onto Loader, but they got a bit too greedy.
We'll see mid lane. EGM. Well, seems going to look for any kind of wrap around. The courier was there, but not going to look for any attempts on a snipe as such. I mean, what is the plan when you're running the Silencer mid? Are you looking for Baby Knight to get a certain item and then start to move around the map, or is it his job to kind of just sit mid and farm up and try and shut down Limp as much as he can?
It's a pretty passive mid. He doesn't rotate or move around the map well, so it kind of is really his job to just sit there a bit. The ganks have to come his way, which is what we're going to see here from Rise and Neuer.
And Limp should be in a lot of trouble here. Baby Knight from the high ground is going to be able to get the punches through, and again, that should be another stolen +2.
As much as Silencer wants to start stacking up the +2s and start stealing intel,
yes,
it's you sacrifice so much farm to really aggressively move around the map. So he'll keep telling his teammates, keep coming mid, let's kill OD whenever possible. Lion's going to likely look for a level 6 soon. Perhaps you see Silencer even fall back a bit to the jungle to give the lane to Rise to get that level 6, but that Finger of Death, you want to use it around that Silencer as much as possible. Get the +2s going, get him some more right-click damage, get him some more in.
Up top, Imperial probably wanting to do something about Loader. You know, he's come up here, kind of made the lane his own. And they will start to go and lead in onto him. He's got the backup of EGM. So defensive disruption can be there into the Rage, but indeed, Alliance just back themselves out. Loader gets back just far enough, but Hester Joe's going to be ready to lead in with the Firefly. Looking to chase down EGM, but Loader's there with the turnaround. Overboost come through. They have got the lasso containing Loader, but more TPs come through from Alliance. The global silence as well. Hester Joe nearly falling down to the tower. He's got 3 levels of poison. Oh, it's incredibly close. Yeah, that raindrops saving his life there. Alliance still going to be looking for the kills. They'll lead in. They've fought Rise. He has been left behind by the rest of his team, and they're going to get the winning duel as well. More bonus damage for Jonas and Fan as he picks that one up 10 minutes in.
Just not quite able to get those pickoffs at top lane. Load on the front line is just proving to be a little bit too tanky and mobile with the phase boots. That's the second time where he's really just baited Imperial in this top lane. They think they can kill Loader. It's really hard to time that global silence there. It looked like perhaps you want to use it before that rage comes out, but Loader like preemptively rages and then runs in on the Batrider. So he kind of almost expected the global to be coming out and made sure he had rage off so that he couldn't become a target. So even when he ended up getting lassoed there, it didn't really matter. He still survives and tanks his way through it all.
And that's the thing as well, you know, as you said, it's already proving hard to kill Loader. Now the fact that he's got that completed armlet, that's going to be even harder for Imperial to deal with. Yeah. In terms of kind of damage over time, trying to catch him out. I guess they've obviously got the Ignite from the Ogre, but other than that, it's, you know, we could see a game where we see some impressive armlet toggling from Loader.
Yep. They're going to need the lasso to lock him down in these fights, and that's where the double save with the Astral and the Disruption come into play, but lasso with global silence, there's no real good way to get rid of global silence. Press the attack, of course, if you're not silenced yourself on Legion, but someone's going to have to build like a Greaves or a Lotus Orb if you want to be able to instantly purge off global silence. So lasso is a very reliable initiation for Imperial, and the burst damage with the lasso is formidable. Finger of Death, you've got Silencer, you've got Eclipse, you've got Ogre. It's almost like a guaranteed kill on whoever gets going on, unless Loader is very fast on the fingers with the rage button, and he gets rage off before the lasso.
It really is, yeah. The fact that there's the rage, and as you said, the 2 saves from the OD and the SD. There are ways they can play around that lasso.
And for Alliance, it's all about, whenever that global's on cooldown, making moves, playing aggressive. That's what they're trying to do up top here. They know there's no global, they want to fight, they don't mind diving a tower, but they've waited a bit long. Global is going to be coming back up.
And Baby Knight's got a haste as well.
Yeah. I guess even if that had landed, he may have been able to haste away before the duel landed. Legion's Blink Dagger, not really that close here. That's perhaps one of the priorities for Alliance at this stage of the game, is to get some towers, create some space for Jonas to finish off this much-needed Blink for the team.
Not something that I see necessarily a lot of players do, but double raindrops on Baby Knight. Just stacking them up.
Preemptively just getting more for the next team fight.
I imagine, but when it procs, it does only proc one of them, doesn't it? Or if you have 2, does it proc?
It should only proc 1. I think it procs whichever is in like the top left slot. So he's got the one with a single charge in the slot where it'll proc first.
Well, Lim, he's going to be cursed up. Coming back up to the high ground. Stun. It's going to be juked off here by a nice save from EGM. Now the global comes out. They're looking to focus Lim. He's coming around for the sidelines. Lim's going to be left for dead here. The question is if Imperial can find anything more. As Hester Cho leading forward. Not quite got the Blink Dagger yet. So needs 200 more gold. As Alliance, looks like the rest of them will be fine, but losing Lim, that's a painful loss. And Imperial, interesting enough as well. So it looks like, so I guess that's kind of good, because I imagine what the mana regen does stack, it actually takes away the charge from the second infused raindrop. So he protects the first one by buying a second one.
Yeah. I guess the mana regen stacks. I'm not entirely sure. I don't actually know. I've never, never thought of buying 2 raindrops, but at this point, he's
protect the tears.
He's thinking like he has an empty item slot, so he may as well have a raindrop there until he buys his 4 stuff. Now he's got 4 stuff. He'll probably actually replace the first raindrop and then move on from there. No point saving it even further.
Well, at least whilst all this that kind of action up there's going on, Loda continues to farm down bottom.
Yeah, it does give extra mana regen. When he drops it, you can see his mana regen change.
So it does stack up?
Yeah, it does stack.
Oh, there we go, buy raindrops. Oh, we'll keep the 1-1. And, oh no, he wants to keep the 4-1. Screw the 1-1.
Leaving it there. We'll see if he can make some plays with that. Pick it up before a fight, then that's some, like, value raindrop usage. Hashtag efficiency. Coming out for Baby Knight, but Falstaff had a very good timing. He's level 10 as well, so has XP to back it up. And that's something where Limp's really struggled. He's only level 8 still.
Hey, he's
trying to farm some stacks.
I mean, net worth wise, he is quite far behind Baby Knight. 2k difference at the moment between the lanes.
And Imperial's done a good job not taking any aggressive fights while Global's down, and then once that Global's back up, very likely we see them try and make some moves. They've got Finger of Death, they've got a Blink on Batrider. Luna's very strong with level 2 Eclipse. Hasn't actually skilled it yet, but is level 11, so they've got a couple big timings just that they've just recently reached. But the only one thing they're missing is that Global. Maybe Knight's got an Invis as well as he actually used the full stuff there, so he needs to be a bit careful here at mid.
He's hanging around.
The raindrop bait. It's bait for the Batrider. He's like, come and get it.
Yeah, Imperial are ready to try and take this.
Well, watch them actually go for that raindrop and... they see Baby Knight now.
Yeah, sent you down, and Imperial won't quite find the angle of a jump that they wanted to. Hestijo's still leading forward. They have the obs over on this side of the high ground of Alliance there. But Alliance keep themselves back away from being picked off the toilet or being grabbed out.
This is a great game for the Bloodlust too. We're seeing Noya just max it first. It's really good on both the carries, the Silence and Luna, but also very good on Batrider for the extra movement speed when you're initiating. So a lot of value can come out of this pickup. And now they're ready to go aggressive. They're making their move, looking for a quick pick off with the lasso into Finger. Ideally, they get it somewhere around this Radiant jungle, get some wards down, perhaps look to take the tier 1 mid, but you need to be careful, because Baby Knight was somewhat isolated in that mid lane, could be the hero that Alliance try and go on.
Let's see if Alliance get caught out by this one. They do have this
well positioned.
This opposite, so maybe feeling relatively safe.
Yeah, they're using the tree line like to their advantage. EGM's hiding in the trees by the tier 1, so even if he pops the smoke, maybe he won't realize he has, but Imperial themselves won't immediately see him in the trees unless they like Firefly and throw a napalm for scouting info. And even if they catch EGM, it's a support. It was the supports who are in the front lines at this stage to scout those smokes. When you see 5 heroes go missing from the map, or a lot of heroes and you're expecting a smoke to happen, you don't want to play like, you don't want to hide in your base not farming. You want to just have your supports kind of act as a wall between the, like, what could be the gang coming in your
Here we go, Hestijo moving on to Hansken. Hansken didn't manage to X-mark himself. I don't know if it's going to be enough to save him, and it certainly isn't. Baby Knight gets the final touch for it. Hestijo moves on further with the Firefly. The curse out from Baby Knight. They take a second. More intelligence stolen for Baby Knight and 2 kills and no response from Alliance. They're actually spread out across the map at the moment, so they're almost certainly going to lose a tier 1 here as well by the looks of it. So Imperial, the patience pays off, and again, good initiation from Hestijo, and it really is something that Alliance have to be worried about. This man, as you're saying, on his bat, very, very, very proficient player.
Yeah, it's hard because if you're initiating into 5 heroes, you've always got the global silence, and then when it's not 5 heroes, they hold the global silence, and you don't want to fight into it. Imperial just have this really scary 5-man unit right now. You can't really fight into them. All the Alliance are being able to do is just farm elsewhere on the map, and they may find themselves getting picked off if they're not careful with this farm. The smoke rotation from Baby Knight isn't going to immediately catch them out.
It's not, they're going to the right, they're going around. It looks like they're trying to get from the high ground. They're going into pop with the low ground. If they can punish this Legion here, it's going to be absolutely big. The pigs come out. They're already starting to retreat. And it looks like they will be fine. Imperial not quite close enough to get a latch on. Of course, Hestijo's lasso still on cooldown.
Yep. Alliance going aggressive. This is a risky move because of the lasso coming back up, as well as both big ultimates from Luna as well as Silencer being available. They need to get a quick kill.
Unless he gets the shot first. Hestijo, 1 second. He's got the lasso back up, but he is going to be the main target here by the looks of it. They're actually going to miss the torrent. They'll drop the demonic purge. Look at the Echo Saber working on him for the low ground, but the lasso comes out. Hestijo keeping himself alive for the time being, and in fact, it's going to be Kunka to fall first. Now with the Eclipse, they turn towards Loda. He doesn't have rage. It's already used. The finger comes through. Imperial find themselves 2. Moving on for more, chasing down Jonas and found Baby Knight, dishing out the damage at this stage. It's a triple kill for the Silencer. Alliance getting wiped to bits there, and Imperial just playing perfectly around the rage. They go all in on Hestijo Alliance, and they just can't kill the bat.
There was a DD rune on Silencer. They didn't want to find the bat. The only way I see that working out well for Alliance is if they find Silencer and kill Silencer first. If you can somehow jump on him before he gets the global off, you're fine. But Disruption is not a good setup for a team fight when you're playing into Global Silence, because it buys Imperial 2.5 seconds where they can TP in, make the rotations, and even prevent the follow-up to the Disruption from coming out because of the Global Silence. So it's really awkward when you find it pick off, like if you're Alliance, you're smoking up and you astral someone or disrupt someone to start the fight because of that window where Imperial can kind of think about how to play it, whether they want to use the global, whether they want to throw some spells, and even just TP in to rotate, because their team fight much scarier than what Alliance had to offer there.
Oh, hand scared. Ooh, that's the Duke down the trees there.
Again, Imperial will play it safe. They could have perhaps gone for that kill. He was alone, but no Global Silence. They want to just back things off. They don't know how many heroes Alliance are going to bring to the table. They also probably are imagining that Alliance are looking to play super aggressive, go for a smoke while Global's down. Alliance aren't doing that right now. I kind of think they need to go for a smoke play, but it's so difficult to do it without a Blink Dagger on Legion Commander. This has really been the one hero that's kind of offset all of Alliance's openings, and whatever timings their draft was meant to have was very much around the Legion Commander Blink, because there's no synergy with the Lifestealer being able to infest anyone. If they smoke up, their catch is a Disruption or an Astral, which again, the Global Silence counters really well, so very difficult for Alliance to make moves until they have that Blink.
I mean, the thing is as well, I'm looking at Lim, and I'm kind of wondering what the hell's going on here. He's just not managed to find anything this game. It's 20 minutes in, only 70 CS. He's incredibly poor in comparison to the cause of Imperial. I mean, 9.4 against the 5.2. It feels like in a few minutes' time, Baby Knight's going to be doubling the farm of this OD. Limp has just fallen massively behind this game.
The 3 deaths hurt, but it's really just the CS more than anything. He's felt too under pressure. He's only been farming deep in his own jungle where he feels it's safe to farm. Hasn't had the ability to move out on the map because of the catch of Imperial, because of the threat of that Global Silence in these teamfight scenarios. And it's Imperial with a very big lead here. They can take some more towers around Global. They're very likely going to go for Roshan soon. I don't see any real way for Alliance to contest Rosh.
No, especially with the ults up, as you say. It's so hard for them against Imperial's lineup.
Whether Alliance know this is going on or not, they've probably already made a decision as a team. We're not going to make a play on Roshan. If they go for Roshan, we're not contesting it. So they have no vision in the area. They're initiating blind into a Batrider catch around the pit, into a Eclipse, into Global Silence. They're making the right move, which is just pushing out this top lane, looking for that tier 2 tower trade.
And what a stat indeed. Baby Knight there, 100% win rate on Silencer in pro games. Yep. I think he's only played 5. It strikes me as a hero that I swear I've seen him play a lot more than that, but apparently not.
Well, Baby Knight, or not Baby Knight, it's Hestejo at top, in a position to find a catch, but
could be surrounded here. I mean, Alliance...
He's actually going to go back to farm. Jonas, oh dear, he's got the blink money. Buy it.
He's scared.
You can't flame break that. Lasso will catch him though.
Oh yeah, Hestejo not messing around. He read those patch notes. He's got the lasso, drags him back in, and Jonas and fans down. As you said, a bit of a saving grace that he did actually manage to pick up the blink. More intelligence for Baby Knight. Nice tasty stolen 18 at this stage of the game. And I mean, you know, as we're saying, this is a tough one for Alliance to pull themselves back into. You know, you're looking at the farm. A lot of this is unloaded to carry on the Lifestealer, but it just is not a nice game to have that much responsibility of you on this Lifestealer against Imperial's lineup.
Oh, Ace with a very cheeky item pickup has the Shadow Blade. Just going to go aggressive. Throws an Eclipse? Question mark.
Okay.
Not sure what he was thinking.
A zoning Eclipse.
Yeah.
Back to base you go, Lim.
He's hoping that he could force the OD to Astral himself, because if he Astrals himself, it buys time for Lion to get enraged for the Impale Finger. They get the kill their OD Astrals himself, or if he Astrals Ace, the Eclipse still finishes them off, but the 4-staff, well, they don't get the kill before 4-staff, so that was the one way that was not going to work for him.
Well, Imperial starting to put the pressure onto the tier 2 mid. No Eclipse, but of course still very much in a good position to fight, with Hestejo's lasso coming back off cooldown in 5 seconds. He's in the tree line, and he's ready to see if he can get a bit of a grab. Alliance, are they actually going to come close enough? That's the question. They are relatively close at the moment, and Hestejo in a pretty good position to find a bit of a catch. Obviously, it's hard against the kind of the cause and such, but there we have it. The global comes through the lasso onto Lim, but good stun onto 2. They'll surround the OD. They've taken down the Legion Commander. They're moving in for more. Up to the high ground, and Imperial go up to the tier 3s. The run is out to Alliance. It might buy them enough sustain and time to get these 3 out of there, and it looks like it will. but Imperial just playing incredibly aggressive, not getting punished for it at this stage of the game at all, and they'll probably get themselves a tier 2 at least here as well. Rod of Atos done on Baby Knight, the tier 2 tower to fall. Whereas in game 1 we saw a very convincing and essentially a stomp from Alliance bringing down Imperial, it seems like the tables have just absolutely turned around here in game 2.
Yeah.
As Imperial with some very impressive maneuvers.
They're just too strong with the global silence up. Anytime they've got that spell, it's just impossible for Alliance to take any sort of a team fight there. Looked like Legion tried to jump in and get a quick duel on someone before the global came out, but he ended up getting globaled instantly, fell into a 2-hero Impale as well. Like, everything just went as wrong as it could for Alliance in that team fight. Luckily for them, they only walk away with 2 casualties, but Imperial get a tier 2 tower, they back off. They kind of can just regroup and look to wait for the global to come back up if they want. They may even try to find some pickoffs while it's down because of just how big of an item advantage they've got now.
Looking up at this, looking at Limp, Shadowblade's going to be back on cooldown in 6 seconds. I mean, Limp does not have... His TP's on cooldown for 40 seconds. He doesn't really have any way of getting himself out of there if they do decide to fight. Rise, looking to lead in onto Loader. He's going to have the curse first off here by Jonas and Faber. Hester Joe's there. Finds the lasso. Needs a bit of a damage output. Ace focuses towards EGM first. They'll take him out, but already falling in the midst of the river. The Legion's down. Loader's being chased down by Imperial. Hester Joe jumps forward, knocks him back in range of Rise's Hex. They take down the Lifestealer as well. Imperial 16 for 3 now at this stage. And this really does feel like it is getting to the point, kind of in game 1, where it's like, what the hell do Imperial do to bring themselves back into this one? This time, it's what the hell do Alliance do to recover from this kind of start? 25 minutes in, Loader the only one looking semi-relevant here on the Lifestealer. You know, Limp still struggling to find any kind of item at this stage of the game.
Item-wise, he looks relevant. In the team fights, he doesn't look relevant at all. He's done 0 damage in the last couple of team fights just because of the control, the lasso, the hexes, the impales. Lion actually maxed out Hex by level 9 just to help deal with the Lifestealer. This game is looking very grim.
Yeah, Alliance may have to, you know, get ready to pick themselves back up and prepare for the second series of the day, going up against Liquid, which, you know, considering Liquid's performance, might be a little less brutal than the performance that Imperial can pull out. It's going to be an interesting series, that. Yeah. But this one at the moment, looking to be Imperial being able to swing around game 2 for a 1-1, unless Alliance come out with a bit of a miracle. But as we can see, 26 minutes in, Imperial nearly 20,000 net worth ahead, and with a lineup that absolutely excels at being in this position against Alliance's draft.
Yeah, Imperial have been really good here. I mean, all their games they've played, they've been, for the most part, impressive. Game 1 of this series was a bit of a one-sided affair, but they've really just bounced back here. Set Baby Nut up for success on the silencer. He's still got his Aegis, has the Rod of Atos, the Bloodlust he's just dominating with, and right now Imperial ready to fight around another global silence, but not finding any pickoffs just yet.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
And for Alliance, it's going to be high ground defense for now, but defending high ground, not easy. Not that Imperial... And they hit buildings well. They've got a Luna. She hasn't really itemized for like the Manta Butterfly to hit buildings with, but the scary thing about defending high ground is the Bat Rider catching you. Whoever's kind of pushing out the creep wave is very likely just going to get lassoed. Loader can't hit creeps because he'll be a lasso target. He'll get lassoed, global silence, Loader's dead. If anything, you need someone else like the OD in the front lines and try and just rely on him just maybe dying for the sake of Loader in the fights. I don't know. It's very, very tricky to approach any kind of a team fight.
Yeah, at this point, Imperial know if they can just find one quick pick, they can easily take Alliance in terms of numbers when it comes to pushes and fights. Even if it is just a Shadow Demon down, it just means the next engagement is going to be a 5v4. 30 stolen damage at this stage for Baby Knight. Hyperstone picked up on top of the Hurricane Pike and Rod of Atos.
Yeah, he hurts. He hurts a lot.
With the Bloodlust as well, as we're seeing, it's just bam, bam, bam. Hero dead.
But Luna looking ready to threaten the high ground, at least now at the bottom lane. Bit annoying and tricky to push into the overwhelming odds and all that, but again, we'll probably just see them wait for the Bat Rider lasso, and then they'll make a true jump onto the high ground, try find a pick off. But Alliance maybe looking to make the first move. They've infested inside Legion Commander, probably calling for a smoke here just to try and catch Imperial by surprise. They know there's currently no lasso as well as no Aegis on the side of Imperial, so if you wait for them to grab another Aegis, it may just be too late.
They really need to kind of go for those YOLO plays.
There's even a Solar Crest on Oga. I love this pickup for Noya. Really, another item just designed to take Lifestealer out of the fight. And even heroes like OD, his right clicks against that evasion will just be dealing a little bit less damage.
Imperial ready to go for that final push by the looks of it. Level 16 just hit on. And the Baby Knight Silencer as well, so he's going to have that extra bit of potency for his ultimate.
He even got the Moonshot now, so his attack speed skyrockets with the Bloodlust. He is going to kill heroes very quick.
Joe ready to kick it off. Again, Lasso and Global Silence is a combo that's pretty hard to break. EGM to fall as well. There'll be a buyback from there. Jonas and Fan looking for the wraparound, but he's going to get Hexed out, taken down. Load will come out. Looks to focus down on Baby Knight. Will kill the Silencer. Now turns towards Neuer, but the Eclipse coming out from Ace brings down the Kunkka. It's a dieback from Lim. And, well, with the Kunkka buying back into this, Hansken trying to team up with Loader for some sort of a defense. They may have lost the Silencer, but they've still got the 4 of them standing tall as they jump in, finger him, back to the fountain, and GG well played is called. It's 26-4, 29 minutes in. Imperial with a very convincing game 2, and this series, no, it's just been a series of stomps. Game 1, Alliance, the boys in the driver's seat. Game 2, Imperial, the Danes doing it there with a lot of conviction.
Yeah.